When you think of awesome One Piece games, do you think of Pirate Warriors, the Unlimited Adventure series?
No.
You think One Piece Pirates Carnival, because that's the best game there ever was. However, there's a huge difference between the American release and the Japan release of One Piece Pirates Carnival. Wow, 4Kids really messed up Pirates Carnival, like, woo! I mean, at this point, they spent so much more time trying to change so much of the game that it's pretty much its own separate game. For starters, if we look here, one of the things you'll notice when you play the American version of Pirates Carnival is the boards. They have anywhere between 9 to possibly 10 boards, but it always goes in the exact same order, which is 3 boards. There's only 6 boards in the Japan version of Pirates Carnival, and those boards are, and I quote, East Blue, Grand Line, Skypiea, Water 7, and Long Ring Longland. Long Ring Longland being the shortest one with only 9 panels in total, and it's board based off of the Foxy arc, which is not filler, unlike some people would suggest and say. So they skipped the entire arc, missing out on key moments of the story and the best powered up version of Luffy there is. I'm not gonna name names. Gabriel! In multiple mini games, such as Sanji's Captain game, there are 2 additional characters that are also there. Not playable, but they are present, which is his teacher, Chef Zeph, and Patty, one of the cooks that worked with Sanji on the Baratier. In the original version of the game, they actually have voice lines which can be heard. However, in the American version of this, they're completely gone, either due to the fact of they just didn't get the actors to record it, or they just decided to remove it altogether for one reason or another. One thing we do know is that One Piece Pirates Carnival is the original Mario Party, the thing of which Nintendo would later on steal to turn around and cash cow on multiple different spin-off versions of Mario Party versions. One thing that this adds that Mario Party doesn't is that in the middle of the board, when you're halfway done with the session, you have a halftime mini game. And what that does is it teams you up with a partner, which is usually first and third and second and fourth place. They partner you 2 up and you work together to complete a mini game together, which will give you more points ultimately. Most of the mini games are intact there, except for one. They removed a certain section where they're giving out a trivia on all things One Piece related, actually. They'll ask you questions like, who gave Luffy his hat, or what does this word mean? You know, just common One Piece trivia knowledge. Another thing that's different between the 2 versions is during the halftime minigames sections, they removed several characters that would appear. If you didn't know, the halftime minigames is based off of the Foxy arc, or the Long Ring Longland arc, of which Luffy and his crew fight against Silver Fox Foxy and his crew in a Davy back fight, which is like kind of what this game is based off of loosely. You know, I'm not gonna get really too much into it. That's what the halftime minigames are based off of, is that arc, and several of their character models are completely removed. Like the fact of Foxy's ship, for example, Foxy being present, and his crewmates, especially the one that's like the announcer guy on the bird that's flying off on screen. All models were removed of that, and my only thought process is because 4Kids wasn't there yet, which is kind of counterintuitive because there have been multiple games in the past like Grand Adventure, and even this game where Skypiea is a part of the game, but 4Kids never got to that part. So it really doesn't make sense for them to have like not dubbed everything. 4Kids, once again, you are a fucking spectacle, and I will never understand why you do things. Where they also differ as well is that there are certain event pieces on the board when you play the game, and these event pieces will help you get one over or give you the advantage against your other opponents on the board. One of them being, for example, a board that allows you to swap your piece with another's. The majority of them are still intact in the American version. However, some of those cards were actually reskinned. One card, which is the Lapin, that allows you to freeze your panel so that no one can corrupt it until it's your next turn. That is actually supposed to be Admiral Aokiji. The whale, Baloo, was actually meant to be Doflamingo, which appears right after Skypiea for a brief moment after he Bellamy. And they had voice lines too.
Monkey D. Luffy. Ice time.
Let's now talk about the stuff that they completely removed from the game. One of them being 2 boards, Long Ring Long Land and Water 7. So for those of you who don't know, when this game was being put out, this was when they just got done finishing, or at least close to finishing, the Water 7 arc, which was the start to Enies Lobby, where they had to go and save Robin against the Cypher Pole agents. It's a really good arc. A lot of people say that's their favorite one. The Water 7 board was completely removed from the American version of the game, and with that, they also removed a lot of cards that would have appeared there too. For example, certain characters like Whitebeard, Marco, Warlord Kuma, and many more cards were blatantly removed due to the fact of, well, we never got that far, so it's not in the American version whatsoever. 4 Captain Minigames that were based on the Water 7 characters, which were Bluno, Kaku and Khalifa, Lucci, and the man himself, Frankie. Out of the 4, only 1 minigame was completely removed from the American version of One Piece Pirates Carnival, which was Lucci's. It was during the scene where the Straw Hats confronted Robin as she was attempting to assassinate Iceberg, and the building's on fire, and in that minigame, Lucci is trying to chase you down a corridor, and you win by getting out. However, the other 3 minigames, as you see on screen now, were completely reskinned for all other versions of Pirates Carnival. Bluno was reskinned to Panda Man, which I gotta point out that's another example of 4Kids going the extra mile to like get rid of stuff like purely. Cause think about it, Panda Man does not actually have a 3D model of him anywhere in the game whatsoever. Like, and this is for me playing the Japanese version for like 3 weeks straight, trying to unlock everything and getting the footage to make this video. There is no 3D model of Panda Man anywhere. There is 1 card of Panda Man, but that's it. So somehow they took the time to find out how to 3D model, replicate it exactly how it is shown in the card here, and then switched out the models entirely just for the sake of, well, Water 7 doesn't exist. The extra mile! These are 2 separate games! You cannot change my mind in a million years. Just like you can't change my mind that Ichigo was handed his powers through all of Bleach. Kaku and Khalifa's minigame was reskinned to Kabaji and Moji. Now this one's a little bit more, well, actually it's not believable because it's like, leave it the hell alone. But Kabaji and Moji do actually have 3D models that were from Buggy's first minigame. If you look in the background, you can see Kabaji and Moji firing the buggy balls at the other players. And last but not least, the man himself, Frankie, was reskinned to Buggy again. Yeah, for whatever reason, they were kind of just like, well, Buggy, like, appears again in, like, Log Rogue Town area, so, like, why don't we just reskin him again, and he'll just take over Frankie's minigame. Again, it was really unnecessary. You guys dubbed Skypiea twice for video games. Did it really matter if you dubbed more content that the show wasn't there? It's so unnecessary, like having Boruto exist. Also, for the record, do you guys know that Boruto is actually a monthly release, manga-wise? And yet, why does the art look like this? Hey everyone, Future Ronald here while editing this. Forgot to mention that Polly was also reskinned in the American version of One Piece as well. He was reskinned with Smoker in 4Kids standards called Chaser, and yeah, I don't know. The last thing that was left out of the American version for whatever reason is the extra modes. Had 2 things left out in the American version, which is sounds where you could hear all the actual voice lines from the Straw Hat characters, and all the cards of which you collected throughout the minigame. Now that is true in both versions, however, they left out even more content actually. In the original version of Pirates Carnival, you actually have way more, well, actually not a lot more. In the American version, when you do the audio thing, we hear all the voice lines for the characters, it's just the Straw Hats. In the original version of the game, it's almost everybody. It's basically limited to all the Captain minigames. So all the Straw Hats and all the actual Captain minigames. So like Frankie, Lucci, Buggy, all of their audios are actually present in the original version, but the American one just doesn't have them at all. Of course, there's gonna be more cards in the original version because 4Kids removed a good chunk of them. But they also took away one more thing as well, which is an option to listen to the music in the video game. If you beat, I don't know how I unlocked it. If you unlock all of the Captain mini games, which, trust me, you are gonna have a migraine just trying to do that, you will actually get a third extra where you can listen to all the music from the video game. And that about wraps it up. That is all the differences between the American version and the original version of One Piece Pirates Carnival. If there's anything you want to see from like the original version that's like nowhere on YouTube for whatever godforsaken reason, like dialogue, character interactions, or like actual HD footage of the mini games that they cut, let me know and I'll upload a video of all that. Without further ado, I'm your crazy cock host, Ronald S, and that's the end of the video.